Some simple cable stitches can be knit without using a cable needle. I'm going to show you two of those now. They are the cross 2 front and the cross 2 back stitches. They can be abbreviated in patterns as C2F and C2B. So let's start with the cross 2 front. You're going to skip the first stitch on your left hand needle and then knit that second stitch through the back loop, just like that. And leaving the stitch on the needles, you'll then bring your right hand needle back to the front as if to knit, and indeed knit that first stitch through the front loop just as you would a regular knit stitch. And then you drop those two old stitches off of your left needle just as you would if you were knitting regularly. Okay, let's see that again. We're going to purl 2 stitches in between, and here comes that cross 2 front again. You're going to skip that first stitch, knit through the back stitch, bring your needle back around in front, knit the first stitch that you originally skipped through the front loop, and take the stitches off just as you would if you were knitting. And there you go, you've got that stitch crossed in the front. Now we're going to look at how to do the cross 2 back, and the instructions call for knitting not the first stitch but the second stitch through the front as you would a regular knit stitch, but leave the old loop on the left needle for now. Then you bring your right needle up to knit through the front loop as usual of that first stitch that you skipped, and then drop the old loops off of the left needle just as you would for regular knitting. So I'll show that to you again. We'll do 2 purl stitches just to separate the 2 stitches. Alright, again this is for the cross 2 back or C2B. You're going to skip that first stitch, come into the second stitch, knit through the front just as you would a normal stitch, bring your needle back into the skipped stitch, knit it, and then drop the old loops off of the left needle just as you would usually. So we'll look at that again. Alright, we're going to knit through the second stitch on the left hand needle, come back and knit that first skipped stitch, there you go, drop the old loops off the left needle, and there you have a C2B, the old stitch crossed in back of the current stitch. Well, I hope you find that helpful.